Weapon Task 4. Maintain an M240 Bravo machine gun. Task: maintain an M240 Bravo machine gun. Perform a functions check on an M240 Bravo machine gun in sequence. Test conditions: during daylight, given an M240 Bravo machine gun. Test standards: within 3 minutes, correctly clear, in sequence, and disassemble the M240 Bravo machine gun into 8 major groups. Within 3 minutes, correctly assemble the M240 Bravo machine gun and perform a functions check in sequence. Let me have your attention. At this point, you are required to clear, in sequence, disassemble, assemble, and perform a functions check in sequence on the M240 Bravo machine gun. The purpose of this is to determine your ability to perform operator maintenance on an M240 Bravo machine gun. You will show your score that you can clear, in sequence, disassemble, assemble, and perform a functions check in sequence on the weapon. The weapon must pass functions check. You have 3 minutes to clear, in sequence, and disassemble the M240 Bravo machine gun into 8 major groups and components. You may use only the equipment that you will find on the ground close beside your weapon.
Might have you repeat that last line.
Yeah. You have 3 minutes to clear, in sequence, and disassemble the M240 Bravo machine gun into 8 major groups and components. You may use only the equipment that you will find on the ground close beside your weapon. Place the disassembled parts on the ground close as you remove them. Do you understand what you must do? Performance measures. Performance measure 1. Clear the M240 Bravo machine gun in sequence. Lock the bolt to the rear by pulling the cocking handle to the rear using your right hand, palm up. Return the cocking handle forward to its locked position using your right hand, palm up. Place the M240 Bravo machine gun safety to the safe position. Open the feed tray cover assembly. Check the feed paw assembly. Check the feed tray assembly. Raise feed tray assembly. Inspect the chamber. Check the space between the face of the bolt and the chamber. Check the space under the bolt and operating rod assembly. Lower the feed tray assembly. Close the feed tray cover assembly. Note, make sure it's shut. Place the M240 Bravo machine gun safety to the fire position. Hold the cocking assembly to the rear using your right hand, palm up. Depress the trigger and ease the bolt forward. Performance measure 2. Disassemble the M240 Bravo machine gun into its 8 major groups. Do not grade in sequence. Remove the barrel assembly. Remove the trigger housing assembly. Remove the buffer assembly. Warning: do not stand behind the weapon while removing the buffer, as the drive string may be released, striking you or others. Remove the drive spring assembly. Remove the bolt and operating rod assembly. Remove the cover assembly. Candidate will then identify 8 major groups: the buttstock and buffer assembly, the bolt and operating rod assembly, the drive spring rod assembly, the trigger housing assembly, barrel assembly, cover assembly, feed tray, and receiver. This is not in sequence. You have 3 minutes to perform performance measures 1 and 2. Performance measure 4. Assemble the M240 Bravo machine gun. Do not grade in sequence. Install the feed tray. Install the cover assembly. Insert the cover spring pin. Open the cover assembly. Install the bolt and operating rod. Close the cover assembly. Install the drive spring assembly. Install the buffer assembly. Install the trigger housing. Insert the trigger spring pin. Install the barrel. Performance measure 5. Perform a functions check on the M240 Bravo machine gun in sequence. Lock the bolt to the rear position by pulling the cocking handle to the rear using your right hand palm up. Push the cocking handle forward until it locks in the forward position using your right hand palm up. Place the M240 Bravo machine gun safety to the safe position. Depress the trigger. Note, the bolt should not fall. Place the M240 Bravo machine gun safety to fire position. Pull and hold the cocking handle to the rear using your right hand palm up. While holding the cocking handle to the rear, depress the trigger and ease the bolt forward and lock position. Close the ejection port cover. Performance measures 4 and 5 are performed within 3 minutes in sequence.